In chapter 1666, the conflict between Duncan and his mother, Mrs. Lewis, reaches a breaking point. Duncan grows increasingly irritated with Mrs. Lewis's meddling in his romantic life as she persists in encouraging him to go on a blind date in order to get him away from Liberty. Mrs. Lewis firmly opposes Duncan's pursuit of Liberty, despite not harboring any personal animosity towards her. Duncan, on the other hand, is determined to win Liberty's heart and refuses to give up on his feelings for her. He insists that his choice of a life partner should be his own decision, free from external influence. The discord between mother and son becomes palpable as Mrs. Lewis threatens to create problems for Duncan and his future wife should she continue to pursue Liberty. She maintains that Liberty is not suitable for Duncan, and her persistent interference could potentially drive a wedge between them. Duncan finds it perplexing that his mother won't acknowledge his affections for Liberty. He is unable to comprehend why she won't let go so he can pursue the woman he loves. He understands that Liberty's refusal to accept his approaches is being made even more difficult by his mother's activities, which are complicating their relationship. Duncan chooses to turn to his friends Zachary and Josh for comfort and guidance after being frustrated and incensed by his mother's meddling. He calls and doesn't give them a chance to say no when he invites them out for a drink. Although hesitantly, both of his friends say yes to his invitation, since they think Duncan's mother has meddled in his quest for liberty once more. The friends assemble for their unplanned gathering and discuss Duncan's apparent anguish. Zachary thinks Mrs. Lewis's steadfast resistance to Duncan's friendship with Liberty is what really sets their mother and son at odds. Given the difficult situation, he advises that they try to convince Duncan to let go and move on. Josh, though, shows skepticism on their chances of persuading Duncan. He affirms that Duncan's will to stand by Liberty will not waver in the face of resistance, despite the fact that he is aware of his rebellious character. Josh advises that they just help their friend in his efforts because he knows that Duncan's commitment to Liberty is unshakable. The friends acknowledge the difficulty of the issue as they engage in these chats. While they wish for Duncan to be happy with Liberty, the steadfast attitude of Mrs. Lewis stands in the way of their plans. Despite their personal friendship with Duncan, they find themselves in a difficult position, split between wanting what's best for their friend and honoring his mother's wishes. While going through with this emotional upheaval, Liberty is also struggling with her own situation. She is fully aware of Duncan's everlasting devotion to their relationship and has no desire to get away from him. Instead, she makes the decision to move to a new rental home in the hopes that the change in location will help her and Duncan grow apart and make it harder for him to come see her every day. The chapter acts as a reminder of the complex relationships that exist between love, family, and individual decisions. We are left wondering how this complex web of relationships will finally come undone as Duncan's unwavering desire to be with Liberty contends with his mother's adamant opposition.